Have you ever noticed that when you think you know what it takes to win over a girl, you come to realize just being around them all the time doesn't make you an expert? Well, that's what Lincoln found out in the episode I'm going to talk about today. So join me as I, SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, bring you another retro review from past seasons of The Loud House. Cue the intro. Today's episode is Lincoln Loud Girl Guru. In this episode, Lincoln starts offering girl advice as part of a business project he and Clyde have to do for school, but all the tips he gives out backfire in the worst way possible. Right away, you know where this episode is going. Lincoln assumes he can give good advice on how to talk to and act around girls since he lives with 10 sisters, and the tip he gives Liam on winning over a classmate with chocolate actually works. So technically, it's not fair to say he doesn't have at least some knowledge on how to deal with them. Now, I know a lot of fans aren't too fond of the all girls love chocolate trope that's shown during the first half, but if you do some research on why this correlation happens both in real life and in other works of media, it's actually not as stereotypical or offensive as you might think. Plus, it was kinda cute seeing all the sisters swoon over it. But anyway, the one thing I didn't like about the way Lincoln handed out his advice was how he never really contemplated which sister's likes or interests would be best suited for each guy who asked him what a girl would find appealing. He just thinks about the first sister that pops into his head and offers advice based solely on that one sister. As to be expected, all the girls in his class start hating on the boys, which in turn causes the boys to chase Lincoln and Clyde for handing out horrible advice. Lincoln then tells his sisters what he did, which causes them to laugh for what seemed like forever, and they tell him not all girls are the same, as if a boy living with 10 sisters with completely different personalities wasn't already enough of a clue. That got me thinking about the one episode from Saved by the Bell the college years where Zach has to do a report on what women want, and he concludes that every woman wants something different. That's the same lesson taught in this episode, and this leads to Lincoln being rightfully punished for his failed business idea. He gets smashed in the face with the salt and vinegar pies he and Clyde tried to sell earlier, but what I didn't like about this scene was how Clyde didn't get punished for his role. I know he wasn't the one giving out the advice and he was just there to collect the money, but he was encouraging his classmates to listen to his friend, and he was being chased down by the angry mob as well. He was just as complicit in the project as Lincoln, and yet he never gets pied for his own enabling of the conflict. Overall, I can see why this episode is looked down upon, but I consider it a guilty pleasure. Lincoln thought he was an expert, but realized that just because you live with girls doesn't mean you know everything about all of them in general. His punishment was justified, even though Clyde should have taken his fair share of it too. And despite the long, drawn-out sequence of the girls laughing at their brother and how you may feel about the chocolate stereotype, it's one of those episodes you can watch every once in a great while, but it's not one I'd put in my top 20 for season 1. With that said, I give Lincoln Loud Girl Guru a 6.8 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Lincoln Loud Girl Guru. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.